To you and welcome to News at Noon. First, the highlight. Lagos State Government rolls out inspection schedule for e-hailing operators. Federal government set up committee to implement health sector agreement. And on the foreign scene, European allies rally behind Ukraine over U.S.-Russia peace talk. And in sports, world record holder Tobias Musha lead Nigerian athletes to secure qualification to season-ending finals in Zurich. Now the news in details. I am Dayo Anthony. The Lagos State Government is set to enforce safety standards, database integrity, and vehicle roadworthiness by mandating all e-hailing operators to ensure that their drivers present their vehicles for inspection, a move aimed at improving safety, service quality, and regulatory compliance across the sector. Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Wasiemi, made this known during an engagement with the operators at the Ministry of Transportation, Alausa. Now, it stated that the ministry has observed that the deplorable condition of some vehicles operated by drivers under licensed e-hailing platforms within the state, necessitating a comprehensive audit of all vehicles in use. According to Wasiemi, any vehicle found unsuitable will not be allowed to operate on Lagos roads, stressing that the state government is committed to safeguarding lives and property and will not tolerate practices that endanger Lagosians. The commissioner also raised concern over the lack of robust databases among many e-hailing platforms, making it difficult to track discrepancies and criminal activities perpetrated through their services. Ashiemi warned that the ministry would not hesitate to enforce sanctions where necessary. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Health District 5, Oladapo Asinyobi, has urged medical laboratory professionals to embrace knowledge sharing as means of improving competence, reducing stress, and enhancing healthcare delivery. Asinyobi made his call during a specified training program on laboratory equipment management for medical laboratory scientists and medical laboratory technicians held in Festac Town, Lagos. According to her, knowledge should not be hoarded but passed across to others to build collective expertise, saying that continuous learning coupled with practical skills is vital in raising professional standards and ensuring competence in medical laboratory practice. In our address, Head of Medical Laboratory Sciences Unit, Oluwakemi Faduola, said the program was designed to be different from conventional laboratory training, explaining that focus of this training is information engagement, inventory management, laboratory upkeep, and practical strategies that should be immediately applied. Also speaking, Director of Medical Services, Ahmed Bello, advised participants to maintain self-esteem and confidence in their work, encouraging them to keep accurate inventory records and share relevant information with colleagues to avoid operational setbacks. 7 persons involved in the set and the attack on officials of the Lagos State Parking Authority, LASPA officials in Aja, have been arrested by the police. The suspected attackers of the state government personnel on assignment are currently detained at the Badore Police Station, Lekki, pending conclusion of preliminary investigation before prosecution in a court of competent jurisdiction. According to the LASPA General Manager, Adebisi Adelabu, the agency will ensure that the perpetrators are prosecuted. Adelabu said the state government strongly condemns the act of attacking its officials on assignment and warned that severe consequences will be meted out on the perpetrators according to the relevant laws. She therefore warns that any further attack on LASPA officials or any government official will attract appropriate punishment, but not just to the perpetrators, but also the landlords and tenants of whichever such act was being committed. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has established an interministerial committee to ensure the full implementation of agreements reached with health sector unions as part of efforts to sustain industrial harmony and improve healthcare delivery across the country. The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, in a statement, says the permanent secretary, Dayo Kacholom, is a member with other members drawn from the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, Federal Ministry of Finance, and Office of Accountant General of the Federation and Budget Office. According to the statement, the federal government had met with the leaders of all health sector unions and associations. Governments of Oyo, Ogun, and Kwara states have put in place proactive measures to mitigate the impact of flooding following the predictions by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, of possible heavy rainfall in parts of the country. A statement, the state government said that public sensitization, infrastructural interventions, and multi-agency coordination have been prioritized to reduce disaster risk in flood-prone areas. NIMET had forecast increased rainfall and potential flooding in several states between July and August 2025, urging governments to implement prevention actions. In response, state officials in Oyo, Ogun, and Kwara said a series of preparatory efforts had commenced to safeguard lives and properties. And out of foreign news, European allies have rallied behind Ukraine in a renewed sword of support, insisting that any peace talk with Russia must include Kyiv. A joint statement issued by the leader of the UK, France, Italy, Germany, Poland, Finland, and the European Commission came ahead of the US President Donald Trump's meeting with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Alaska. The European leader, in a statement, said the international border must not be changed by forcing point out that Ukraine has a freedom of choice over its own destiny, stressing that their nations will continue to support Ukraine diplomatically, militarily, and financially. According to the White House, United States President Donald Trump is willing to hold a trilateral meeting, which will include Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, saying for now it remains a Trump-Putin summit as initially requested by the Russian leader. And now to sports. World record holder Tobi Amusan will headline the challenge at the 12th leg of the Diamond League in Silesia, Poland, as 4 Nigerian athletes continue their push to secure qualification for the season-ending final in Zurich. Now fresh from clinching a 5th national title in Lagos, Amushan returns to the Diamond League in search of our 4th Diamond Trophy. Amushan will be competing in the women's 100-meter hurdle for the 6th time this season, having already claimed victory in Rabat in May and recorded a season's best of 12.24 seconds in Paris, then following it with 12.38 second place finish in another leg of circuit in Oregon in July. The currently ranked 10th in the world, Amushan sits second in the Diamond League points, standing for the event with 17 points, just ahead of the Netherlands' Nadine Visser and behind leader Grace Stark of the United States on 35 points. Now, just before we go, use the walkway where available to avoid accident. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961. Facebook is Lagos Traffic Radio 961 FM. Instagram is Lagos Traffic Radio 961. You can also subscribe and watch our news and program live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. And you can visit our website, which is on www.trafficradio961.ng. And you can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 961 live on my Lagos app for timely update. Now, did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 1,400 hostels bed for Lagos model colleges? You can get more details on Lagos State Government's website. And now to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government is set to enforce safety standards, database integrity, and roadworthiness by mandating all e-learning operators to ensure that their drivers present their vehicles for inspection, a move aimed at improving safety, service quality, and regulatory compliance across the sector. The federal government has established an interministerial committee to ensure the full implementation of agreements reached with health sector unions as part of efforts to sustain industrial harmony and improve healthcare delivery across the country. We also told you that European allies have rallied behind Ukraine in a renewed surge of support, insisting that any peace talk with Russia must include Kyiv. And in sports, world record holder Tobi Amusan will headline the challenge at the 12th leg of the Diamond League in Silesia, Poland as 4 Nigerian athletes continue their push to secure qualification for the season-ending finals in Zurich. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. The NZ News broadcast compiled by Adesua Ejoyoka. I am Dayo Anthony. Many thanks for listening.